Good evening, everyone. Welcome to ZeroXP Studio. I'm ZeroXP Dev, or Jansen, in some of the Facebook groups who know me. Anyway, today we're going to be running some filament temperature calibrations on the Anycubic Kobra S1. So we've got some people in one of the groups that I'm in that have some trouble with calibrating their filaments, so we're just going to run through some tutorials. We're going to do a little bit of a series running through all the different calibrations for all your filaments, your slicer settings, your printer, etc. So this is the first series. Welcome. If you're new to the channel, I run my own creative studio from home. Did start with a little bit of game development, but that's sort of transitioned to 3D printing, and then I've got some other plans for the future. Otherwise, let's go. So let's pull up our main screen here. You're going to pull up your Anycubic Slicer Next. We're going to start with just your blank plate. At the top here, we're going to go on calibration and temperature. Sorry, one thing first. We want to select what filaments we're doing. So we're going to sync from our printer, our filaments. So we've got our filaments in here. Now, today I'm actually doing some silks. We're going to change these. You're just going to run off your base profiles to start with, your default Anycubic profiles. Make sure you match up with what type of filament you're running. So if you've just got a standard PLA, make sure you select PLA, PETG, etc. And when we go into the settings here, so the little edit icon on the end of your row, it's going to give you all your current settings for the default profile. So now that we've got that open, let's go to our temperature. We're going to run a PLA test. Now this stage of the video is going to be very quick. It's going to run into a stream of the print going. You'll see how long it's going to take once we slice it. Just run the default settings, so start temp 230 up to 190 or down to 190. I say up to because we're printing at 230 first, and then as it goes up the tower we go down in temperature to 190. Now you just want to make sure you don't have any supports on, and we're going to slice that off. Now, one thing I would recommend is in the color scheme up here, instead of going line type, let's just go to temperature. And this is going to show up and you're just going to be able to verify that it's going to run each section of this tower at a different temperature. So you see the temperature ranges ranging from green through to purple. When we go back to line type though, so you'll see it's going to take an hour and a half. We'll pull up the screen with the print. We're going to click remote print. Make sure you've got your printer selected and it's on the filament that you're wanting to calibrate. I don't need to run our bed leveling. We're going to run our time lapse though, so that we can patch that later. We're going to turn our filament onto our PLA drying settings, and we're going to hit our start print. All right, we've just gotten the beep to say that we're all finished. So let's grab it out of the printer. So back on your desktop, you're just going to come back to your main screen. But first I'm going to pull up our close-up cam and let's have a look at the results. Okay, so here is our temperature tower. Let's pull it off the bed here. Some really good adhesion there. Now, I usually pull the brim off. And we're going to have a look at a few different things here. So this side might be a little easier to see some of the results. So the first thing we're going to look at is going to be the finish. Now it's going to be more prone on your standard PLA filaments. On your silks, it's going to be pretty shiny at no matter what level, but there will be a visual difference between how glossy it is at your higher temperatures going towards a more matte finish at your lower temperatures. You can sort of slightly see that on camera. There's not quite as much shine here as it is here. It's like a lot shinier coming off here, right, I think. Then we're going to be looking at our overhangs. So on this side, this is going to be the side of the overhangs that's facing the cooling fans. So you'll come down, you'll see we get they're all reasonably similar on the overhangs. It's really nice up to 190, but we definitely don't want to be going that high in temperature. Then one of the other things to look at is going to be the stringing. So if we look inside here, you'll see the little spiky towers, and generally it's going to be at higher temperatures. Let's get this to focus. At the higher temperatures, you'll see some stringing coming from the tower, and it generally should get a little bit less as we go up. So this one does look a little bit less as it does go up, but we've got stringing across most. Now, being a silk filaments are going to string a bit more than your other filaments. So that's all well and good there. And then we're going to look at our bridging. So underneath on this side, we look at how well the bridges are going. If they're stuck, they usually get a tool like a bit of tweezers or something. Again, like this filament is all, you see up on the 190, we've definitely got some loose filaments up on the top here. We can get our tweezers under there and pull them away. So that's definitely too low. Now, so that's some of the layer adhesion, but bridges are a little bit harder on the layer adhesion because they're going to droop a little bit as it's printing. So it all looks pretty good, to be honest, on this tower. So generally, I like to print my silks up around the 215 sort of temperature. You sort of get a nice even finish, a good amount of shine without running too hot. The last thing you can do is actually see how easy it is to break. Now, should theoretically be able to break this at almost every level, but it definitely does get harder as we go down. So that's your temperature tower and how to read it. So if we're going to look at 215 on this one, let's go back over to our desktop. And let's throw in those settings into our slicer. So in our desktop, what we're going to do is in our filament. So this is the first one we configured. We're going to come to the side here and click this little edit preset button. And it's going to open up the filament options. And what you're going to do is you're going to come down and your nozzle temperature. So we want 215. Now generally it's better to have slightly higher temperature on your first layer. So I usually go about 5 degrees higher on the first layer. That'll help bed adhesion. Then we're going to hit save on that. And we're going to want to create a new profile. Now we're going to change some other settings here. We're going to change this one to, so this is actually an Elegoo PLA silk. Do a tricolor. Now I'll also add in here what temperature. So I want 215 degrees Celsius and 0.4 brass nozzle. We're going to hit save. Now you'll see that we can now change these. So I want to go to Elegoo, and then you can also change how much it costs. So we want $25 a kilo. That's Australian dollars here. We're just going to hit save again on that. And this is the start of our new profile specifically for our Elegoo PLA silk duo and tricolor silks. All right, so you can close that then. I'm going to take a quick break. That'll be the end of this video. So make sure you subscribe, like and subscribe, follow. But I'm going to take a break and we're going to move on to the next step of calibration. When I edit them for YouTube, they'll get edited into separate videos. But we're going to come back with flow rate for the next tutorial.